Hello friends, welcome to Whispering Wilds. I'm Carissa Blackwood. This channel is about paganism, witchcraft, and earth-based spirituality. Thank you so much for joining me on this spring oracle reading. It is going to be for the spring equinox, and I am using the Lunar Nomad Oracle deck. Alright, let's jump into the reading, and I'm wishing you many blessings moving forward. I place my heart and trust in this deck. I promise to take care of it and to use it to spread messages of love, happiness, and kindness. This reading here is for Ostara, the spring equinox, and I pray to read the message of balance, peace, harmony, and to tell the story of what this spring equinox represents to my friends, family, and to the viewers of Whispering Wilds. Thank you for joining me. Divine Spirit, intuition, angels, and guides, please bless us with a message for Ostara. This will be a 9-card story. And we will read each card with the intentions of staying in the present moment and watching the story unfold. Our story begins with the stork. A bird returns home in the evening and rests upon its nest of eggs. What a beautiful message to start our story of Ostara, one that is filled with eggs that represent potential, loving care, and one that symbolizes fertility, abundance, and new beginnings. As the stork returns home for the evening to take care of its nest of eggs, it sleeps peacefully in the night. But as its eggs begin to hatch and it watches its little hatchlings grow up, it is filled with a sense of protection, and it has a desire to protect its loved ones, to protect what is dear to him. The fox appears as a trickster, one that is cunning, and in this case can represent selfish desires, things that block us and can cause confusion in our lives. So in the message of Ostara, when we think about sowing seeds for our desires and the things that we wish to grow, in what ways do we also need to protect those precious eggs, the precious dreams that we have, from our own self-sabotage or from those around us. The scissors appear as a gift. They are a tool for making decisions, cutting ties, and for trimming the beautiful plants that grow in our gardens. When we start to trim back the things in our lives, some beautiful, unseen wisdom is surfaced. We find treasures in our gardens, we find relics. So as we think about the story of Ostara, the stork has protected its young from a cunning fox and is gifted with the shears, the ability to make wise decisions about what is best for his future and the future of his family. Following the shears is the letter. We see an image of a woman thoughtfully pondering over stacks of paper, ink is spilled over. She is a very critical thinker, and she's sending letters to many of her loved ones, important correspondences of partnerships, rekindling relationships, and making connections. To carry the message along from the stork, we can imagine that the stork is helping to send these letters. What message does the stork want to share with his friends, with his family, and with his loved ones this spring equinox? The letter is followed by the lilies. The lilies makes me think of the wonders of night. There's a fairy hidden here on the bottom left. The plants are very translucent and we don't even see their true colors. We see these almost like X-ray vision versions of these beautiful night lilies. And I think that this card is really speaking to our subconscious, the creative mind, and the part of us that comes alive when we're sleeping. So in this case, I like to think that the letters that we've sent are to our inner selves, saying it's time for our creative sides to come out, to flourish, and to be the light of our lives. No more bad dreams, no more worries. In what ways is your divine self asking to be acknowledged? The Whip. This card is full of excitement and energy, and when I see this whip, I think of being energized and kind of jolted into action, where when spring comes, sometimes we are filled with feelings of almost like laziness, or we want to push against this new pole of energy that we know is going to put us into our next greater potential, and spring is going to push us into the next great thing in our lives. But sometimes we push back against that and we want to stay in the slumber of winter, and that's perfectly normal. But one way to jump into spring is to move and find something that gives you energy, something that makes your blood start to warm up again. And that may also mean trying new things, and being very explorative and creative with what makes you feel excited and alive. Next we have the key. The key card is very interesting, the way that this white translucent key is presented on top of a hand. And it makes me think of how we hold the key to so many choices and the key to our own happiness. And this hand is placed in front of a background of a castle and these very strong structures. And this card, as it relates to everything else in the reading, really gives me a sense of flow. That the stork is flying through all of these different stages. And the spring equinox wants us to make decisions out of balance. That in this time of spring, we can take on new adventures, whether it be dashing away from a fox, cutting ties and sculpting new projects, expressing ourselves in new ways, inviting our shadow side to come forward, making room for our creative self to be in the spotlight. Being the holder of the whip, one that is unapologetically tenacious and expressive. The key holds the power to these experiences. And we have the power to choose what experiences we want to create in our life. So thank you, Stork, for bringing the message of balance, that while we may be very analytical, we are also creative. While we may be very giving, we may also want to take time for ourselves. So finding the balance in the springtime will really set you up for sustainability. After the key, we have the umbrella. I can see the stork flying alongside of this umbrella. This man who is effortlessly floating with the wind. He is ready for whatever life is going to hand to him. He is ready for taking on the day and being in the present moment completely. As he floats over the land, he looks down and admires the butterflies, the grass, and the flowers. He is weightless and is flying with effortlessness because he has set down the things that he doesn't need anymore, and he takes with him only what is necessary for each moment. The result of this journey is coming home to emotional abundance. Coming home to our heart space in a way where we honor the deepest treasures of our heart, that our cup may be full and run over with kindness, joy, and love. As we move and start putting our energy forward, we'll find that if we take care to have balance in our life, that spring will lead us to great abundance and prosperity. Our last bonus card to really tie up our reading is the tree. At the tree, all the critters gather, where they make a home and they have everything that they need to feel sustained, nurtured, and loved. We too can come under the tree to rest, relax, and enjoy all the experiences of spring. So thank you so much for watching, my wonderful viewers. I'm wishing you many blessings this Ostara, and please feel free to leave in the comments what you thought of this reading, what it means to you, and what plans you have for this springtime. Many blessings to you, and I will see you on the next video.